over there. I'm going to lower this. I'm going to go to the right hand side. So I got some room over here. I'm going to take the spin stone off. Put the relief stone on. Set screw always goes on the taper portion of the shaft. This is our relief indexer mechanism. Stone rides here. A couple of things you have to remember. This is our blade stop. And this is our index stop. This one catches the reel blade as it comes around when we index on the left hand side. That blade stop has to be parallel to the helix, to the twist of the blade. If it's off a little bit, you can see as I come over to this end, the reel's going to come into the stone. The blade stop, if you just break it down, stops the blade. That's as far back as the blade will go. So if you let it continue to grind with the blade to the blade stop, it'll just spark out and won't grind anything. The index stop, as we go from right to left, comes off. As it clears, the reel is allowed to turn, and the index stop catches our next blade and lines it up with the blade stop. We grind over this to the left or to the right. The index stop kicks back. Our blade never leaves the blade stop and grinds back on the same blade. Comes back over here, catches, grinds over, comes over here, clicks, and grinds back. So we have to have clearance here. Two things you have to have, and that is the index stop should be the same height as our blade stop. There's one set screw on the back side. So after it indexes, we want it level across. And we're not catching that blade by much with the index stop, just enough. And the other thing is we have to align it. The spring-loaded screw does that. So I can change this and I can physically use the index stop to push the reel blade that I'm grinding away. The disadvantage is when it comes to the right-hand side, when it gets to the right and it clicks back, the reel blade comes into the stone and it goes chink. So we have a process when we get it on there, and I'll show you by a series of quick turns how to align that up. Okay, I'll move that out of the way. The index stop goes over the stone. This part of the ramp should be about the same elevation as the stone itself. It's kind of like a safety, so if anything happens after the reel indexes on the left-hand side, there's nothing back here to keep that reel from rotating backwards. If the reel rotates backwards, the reel in a position in front of the reel we're grinding will come into the stone, and it'll dig a hole in that blade, the sharp edge of the blade, faster than you can go. Oh. Okay. I'll go through the process real quick, and after the camera goes off, I'll show you the shortcuts. To set it up to get our angle, the angle is determined where around the circumference of the stone we grind. So to start off with, we're going to get that out of the way. We'll infeed the stone to touch two blades at once. and we'll come up. There, now there's no rock, so I'm hitting both blades at the same time. On a 5-inch diameter reel, we recommend you take the handle as a reference point and drop the stone down 1 to 1.5 turns. And that allows the reel to come over. And you'll notice we'll have a gap between the blade in front of the one we're going to grind and the one that's resting against the stone. Depending upon the angle, the more I bring the stone down, the less angle of relief we're putting on, and we approach a spin grind. So raise it up to where you touch 2 blades at once, take it down 1 to 1.5 turns. As long as I got a good clearance, I like to have a good clearance there, about 3/8 of an inch or thereabouts. At that point, I'm going to rotate